introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, speakers and guests of the evening, a very good evening to all of you. And I would also like to invite you with the traditional Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace, blessings and mercy of the Almighty be upon all of us tonight. Dear ladies and gentlemen, as Brother Abdul Hadi mentioned, Ramadan is one of the obligatory traditions of Islam. And I'm sure it's not a surprise for most of us at least, that Muslims around the world, more than a billion, approximately 1.5 billion of them, they have a tradition of observing the fast in the month of Ramadan, irrespective of where they live in, which continent, cold or hot, short days, long days, summer, winter. Across the globe, Muslims observe the fast in the month of Ramadan. I'm sure we all have this tradition of fasting in some form or some shape in most of our traditions and cultures and religions as well. I myself, for someone was born back in the subcontinent in India and having raised with a lot of other cultures and communities out there, I have seen a lot of my own neighbors who are not Muslims but observe fasts of some form. It might not exactly look like the fast how Muslims observe from dawn to dusk, but we all see fasts of various forms. That's a common tradition across the traditions, across cultures and across religions. When we look at Quran, asking about what exactly the Islamic fast or a Muslim fast means, we see a very prominent verse in the Holy Quran, where Allah says that we have prescribed the fasts upon you just like how we have prescribed upon the people before you, which means acknowledging the fact that fast is not something which is just prescribed upon the Muslims as a new obligation, but it's something which God had prescribed upon the people from previous civilizations and people before the Muslims as well. And towards the end of the verse, the Quran says, the purpose of the fast is that it says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, which means that perhaps you could attain piety. Perhaps by means of this fasting, you could attain taqwa. And the literal meaning of the word taqwa as translated by the Arab scholars is that it means piety, it means God consciousness, it means a state of mind where one is aware that there is a supreme being that's created us and to whom we are accountable for. And it's a month while we all go through our lives to our daily grind, it's a month to stand, take a step back, and use the month-long experience of fasting as a moment of self-reflection. As a moment to appreciate the gifts that we have been gifted with by the Creator in this life. Agreed that it's not a perfect world out there. We know that yes, I don't have everything that I really need to succeed in my life. Yes, all my aspirations of my personal life and my family life and my professional life and my career is not fulfilled yet. Yes, it's not a perfect world out there. Yes, we at times feel that there are injustices, it's not always fair with everyone. But then if we take a step back, it's a moment to reflect and thank the gifts, the real gifts that we have in life. To thank the food and drink that's on the table, even though you aren't allowed to touch it for about 12 to 15 hours, in a few countries about 17 to 18 hours. To thank for the food and drink that's on the table while there are millions starving. To thank for the people that's sitting around you, for your family, for your kith and kin, and for your loved ones that are surrounding you. And to thank for the roof on the top of your head while we have hundreds and thousands that are allowed to be fending for themselves out in the streets, in the rain, in the very cities that we live in. So it's a moment of self-reflection, it's a moment of reflecting on the larger good, it's a moment of reflecting on the Supreme Being. Secondly, one of the aspects of taqwa or the God piety or the God consciousness, it's also that it's an opportunity for restraining oneself, for guarding oneself for all the diversions and for all the temptations that we see. And it's not a surprise that we are struggling with temptations in everyday life, from temptations from within, temptations from outside. There is a temptation for all of us struggle with the temptation of just consuming, right? The non-stop consumerism, if you will, just taking it all in. taking it all in, be it the food for our body or food for our soul or food for our thoughts, not really reflecting on what impact it has on us as a person in a material sense, in a spiritual sense. So it's a moment to put ourselves through the rigor of that exercise to understand what exactly it means to cleanse the spirit and to abstain and to control our desires, our inner desires, if you will. The urge, the desires of greed, to have it all and to have it for myself and to have it now. The temptation for selfishness, putting me first without thinking about your kith and kin or without even thinking about your neighbors or the wider community. So it's an opportunity, and Ramadan basically provides the tools for a believer to use this entire month as an opportunity to resist these temptations through the deprivation of food and drink for extended hours, through the vigilance of our tongue and our eyes and our organs and our hands and legs to watch out what we really speak, what are we really watching, what are we really seeing, and to really be vigilant about our thoughts as well, not to allow thoughts that could harm others in any sense, physical or emotional. So that's the whole exercise that Muslims are expected to in a real sense through the Ramadan. And finally, as a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Eid, as Brother Abdul Hadi here mentioned, it's a day of celebration. The literal word Eid, it means recurring happiness and festivity and celebration. It's a day of real thanksgiving. Thanking the Lord for the opportunity for us to do that exercise of self-realization. So that's why you would see on the day of Eid, a lot of Muslims around your communities, probably dressed in their traditional attire, coming out and congregating in mosques or open areas and parks and trying to call the glory of God and to recognize His oneness and greatness. Finally, the Thanksgiving wouldn't be complete without we thanking not just ourselves and the Lord, but also to thank everybody around us. I'm reminded deeply of a tradition, of a saying of Holy Prophet where he said, "La yashkurullah man la yashkurun nas." One has not thanked the Almighty God until He's thanked the people, His creations. So our Thanksgiving for Eid wouldn't be complete unless we share that Thanksgiving with people that really live around us, with you all. So I think that's why this evening is so special for all of us to have you come here, join us in the celebration. And I really thank all the speakers tonight, and I also thank some of our council representatives. Among the list of invitees that we have tonight, we have people from the Victoria Police, we have representatives from the fire services, from the ambulance services, we have our coaches from the soccer clubs within our suburbs. So you guys are doing a lot of services out here, and without your services, our communities wouldn't be any better. So really, thank you, and Eid Mubarak to all of us. Thank you.